everyone, welcome back to the channel and thank you as always for tuning back in. If you're new here, welcome. I'm Layla, the Lenormand reader, and today folks we are doing another pick-a-card reading, and this pick-a-card reading is focused on the question when. So time and timing is one of the hardest things to predict in all divination, not just Lenormand, tarot cards and other cards, and even any other tool like even numerology is complex to use for timing, and astrology, it's always a little bit off. So all forms of divination really fall short, I would say, when it comes to time and timing. In prophecy, for example, people focus on the sequence of events much more than the timing, because the timing is really hard to predict. So what we're going to do in this reading is we're going to give it a try. We're going to use Lenormand's cards to try to predict when something will happen for you. So what you need to do for this reading is you need to focus on a question that is around the question when. So think of a specific area or issue or a situation that you're working through, and you want to know when that something will happen. I'm going to use the whole deck to divide across 6 packs. So this is a 6x6 readings, and so we have 3 charms and 3 stones, and that's 6 prompts all in all. And so the whole deck is going to be used for this, and every card is going to show up somewhere in one of the readings. So we have faster cards, we have slower cards. We're not going to be able to predict a specific date, but we'll be able to estimate approximately how soon something or that something materializes for you. So my deck is shuffled, of course, and I'm going to deal out the 6x6 packs. Let's go ahead and do this right now. Okay, here is our 6x6 pack divided into 6 piles. There is 1 pile of 6 cards for each of the charms. You're going to find each of these linked in the description box with their timestamps, but let's go ahead and go over the charms and stones for you. This is the Lapis stone. This is the key, lovely key. Teal. Teal is one of my favorite colors, so it actually matches a little bit the background here. And this is a lock, and the lovely rose quartz, very kind and gentle, and this beautiful coin. So go ahead and focus on which one of these charms or stones you want to zoom in on for this reading. I know that normally some people would like to choose 2 readings, but I will suggest that for this specific question, the question of when, for one specific issue, you might want to go for only 1 reading. So I'll see you in your reading. Okay, Lapis group, here we are with your cards. These are the 6 cards I initially dealt, and I'm going to leave them in this order. If you've been following my channel, you know that I like to do that. And we're going to deal out these cards in a simple 6 card reading. So that is a 3x3. So that's sort of a mini portrait here. Okay, so I would say pretty soon for you, Lapis group. It is really the clover that stands out in this sense, but it is also balanced out by the moon here. So of course we can get more hints from these 6 cards. It's not just finding that one card or that central position of the cards to get the idea of timing. So let's go ahead and give a quick overview of the cards in terms of your question, see how it goes, and then come up with this idea of when, the answer to when. So we have the snake, clover, and dog, and then we also have the dog on top of the garden. So there is a social element at play here, and it is possible that it depends a little bit on someone else for when that thing can happen for you. The snake is generally associated with shorter timelines, and the clover tends to be pretty quick as well, although the downside of the clover in terms of timing is that it can be a little bit unpredictable. The bottom line points to the flowers, moon, and garden. So I think that we're looking at an invitation here. It does involve this person, and it does look like you can have a good time. But there is also the snake in the card. So I have to be cautious about this, Lapis. So this might be someone maybe you don't know yet. Maybe you're getting to know this person. So take your time getting to know this person. I would say maybe don't reveal everything about yourself from the first few times. Take your time getting to know this person. The thing about the garden and flowers is that it can point to false flattery, and with the snake and dog, I feel that this is someone who is not 100% transparent, or they don't always mean what they say. They just sort of flatter for the sake of flattering. But I don't think there are wicked intentions here, or even if there are, I don't think it gets to you because of the clover, and the bottom row is a really positive and gentle line. So it's just about being cautious, getting to know this person, and not being too revealing. The flowers, moon, and garden is great for an invitation, for getting together, for a party, for some kind of event or a gathering. And very clearly, it does tie into the social element. So a strong social element in your 6-card reading here, Lapis. Now, in terms of timing, there's a balance of cards. The snake tends to be faster. The dog, it's in the middle. The garden in the middle. The flowers is a bit faster, but the flowers can also point to spring. And so that maybe there's a seasonal element that comes through here with the garden, especially with the moon. So the idea of the phases of the moon, maybe it brings out this idea of seasons coming through the flowers. I feel that overall, you could be looking at a few months, I would say at most, for the situation to either materialize, or I would say to clarify. And the reason I say to clarify is because it seems to depend on people. There is a strong social element in here, so that might be a little bit out of your hands. And also with the snake in the line, you want to, you don't want to be pushy. It's a card of diplomacy, and it asks you to be smart. So I would say a few months, Lapis. Maybe 1 or 2 months sounds reasonable for these cards. I'm not so sure how much you need to pursue this. I think there are there's a strong energy through the cards, through the moon, snake, and flowers. They're receptive. They have this receptive energy to them. And so the idea here is that you want to not be pushy, sort of wait for things to unfold naturally. And if you are going to poke to find out what's going on with this, then do it nicely and calmly, and find out through this kind of positive interaction without don't be like stressful about it or anxious about it or anything like that. I would also say, Lapis, in the meantime, over the next month or two, maybe a little bit more for this to materialize, it looks like a lot of good things are happening for you. So that's another reason why you don't need to be pushy about it, why you don't need to be too worried about it. I would also say we do have the clover in the lines, in the different lines, and it is an all-around lucky card. So it is also on the other side of the snake. So it suggests that maybe you don't need to worry about this too much. The idea of it happening on the right time would always come with the clover because it has that sense of unpredictability. But from the other cards, I would estimate about a month or two, Lapis, for you, for this thing to materialize. And in the meantime, things are fine. Things are going as you want them to. It's a good time to socialize, to work on your creativity. The flowers and moon is lovely for that. And with the garden, maybe it's about putting your stuff out there, sharing what you have, and then that thing will materialize within a couple of months. Possibly from this point, from the point that you share it. So in conclusion, Lapis, for you, the answer is to the question when. I'm estimating 1 to 2 months, maybe a little bit more. From these cards, and in the meantime, lots of positive energies happening here for you. Be calm and diplomatic. Don't trust too easily. Let things unfold and have fun in the process. So let me know how this works out for you. I'm really looking forward to your thoughts and comments. Thank you so much for watching, Lapis group, and I will see you in our next reading together. Take very good care of yourself. Hello Key group, here we are with your reading and your 6 cards. These are the ones I initially dealt. And I think you know by now, if you've been watching my channel and my pick-a-card readings for a while, that I like to keep them in the order that I dealt them out in initially. So we're going to do a simple 6-card reading to answer the question when. And again, focus on this issue or that situation for when you want to see something about it or the whole thing about it materialize. So let's go ahead and deal out your cards. Okay, Key group, I'm seeing challenges popping up for you. And I think this is going to mean a delay of sorts, although I have to say that there is a possibility that it happens sooner than what you are prepared for. So there's a few challenging cards in this 6-card reading for you, Key group. Clearly, the clouds and the whip, they show up here. Usually this means dust is raised, something comes up that rocks your boat. It can be an emergency. And with the key here, you're going to have to make a really strong effort to see through the mess and see through the confusion. I also think because of the woman, rider, and cross, you're going to need to think on your feet. with the clouds and rider, the clouds being the card of thinking and psychology, you'll need to be quick to respond. You might not feel fully prepared for that. The woman on the bottom line can refer to someone who's involved with this. With the rider here, she brings the message, maybe she delivers the answer, and I have to say that with the whip and cross, I'm not so sure that thing materializes in a positive way for you. And this is in addition to the idea of when, or the question of when. The rider is a speedy card. When I see, and so is the key actually, the key can mean very, very soon, almost instantly. With the whip and rider in this diagonal here, I feel that this can be much faster. So the whip and rider to me always associates with speed, and then on top of that we have the key on the earlier side of the rider, and so I feel that there can be quite fast movement coming to you. With the woman, clouds, and cross, there can be some challenges here. Maybe it's not what you were expecting. You might need to redo things, reprioritize. And so this woman figures in any number of ways for you. I feel she's a messenger. She might bring answers with the key and woman as well. But I have to say that this is not necessarily how you want it to materialize, how you want it to go forward. So I feel that challenges are ahead for you in this key group. And I also feel that it's going to happen pretty fast. So initially, I thought maybe because of the whip and cross, it can delay things, and with the clouds, but I think this is a pretty powerful set of cards here in these two diagonals. I feel that it can happen faster than what you were expecting, and maybe this is going to rock your boat and cause you to have to deal with it maybe when you're not prepared. And on top of that, I feel that that feedback or that thing that you are after, it might not materialize in the way that you want. So there are going to be challenges that you need to deal with. You are going to need to resolve some issues, clarify some elements. I have to say, key group, maybe one more possibility that comes through is that something comes in the way that delays your whole goal, and it needs to be dealt with first. But I feel that my first interpretation is more accurate for the context and for the question. So to summarize, key group, I'm seeing some challenges coming up for you for this issue. It could come faster than what you're ready for, and this might cause you to have to think on your feet. I also think that it doesn't materialize in the way that you want, and so this might cause rework in some ways, delaying your goals or delaying that thing that you're after. There is a people element in the card. This woman seems to be the one who brings answers, who brings the feedback, and this is what triggers the whole thing. So then you find out, you know, if this is working out and how soon it's working out. So these are my thoughts for you, key group. I think a bit of a challenge situation here. I would say focus on bottom lines from the key, and this works pretty well with the cross. I would say focus on your priorities. So if you have to compromise or sacrifice and do any of this, then I would say revisit your thoughts around your priorities. Other suggestions I also want to make for you, key group, is that if you need the support of someone, then go ahead and do that. There is a chance from the cards that maybe you should pursue this to find out what's going on with this issue that you're working through. But also I would say, because of the whip and cross, if there are some things that you need to let go of, then this is probably a good time to make a choice, even if it's a tough one, between your priorities, between certain paths. And maybe you can't wait on this working out anymore, and maybe you're going to need to move on. I think it's really interesting that we have the key in the cards and the key as your charm. This is not something that I read normally, but you know, these signs, they come through. And so I feel, because the key is a very powerful symbol of intelligence and awareness and alertness, I feel that you are going to know exactly what to do. You can have a lot of clarity. It's important that you be resourceful and you pull out the solutions from within you as much as possible. Of course, you're going to use everything around you as input, and you're going to make decisions based on that as well. But you also have a lot of intelligence and smarts, and so use that, put your skills and resources to good use for you. And if you need to whip something out of your life, get it out of your life, then do this now. So be ready to act fast, key group. This can come faster than what you're prepared for. See if you can do something about this now. Maybe you can think up different scenarios that will help you be prepared. And really, this is the purpose of doing cards, is that it helps us to foresee so that we can actually do something about it. You might have heard me say this a million times. If there's nothing we can do about it, then what's the point of reading about it, right? So again, very best of luck with this key group. Leave me your thoughts and comments. I am looking forward to them. Until we meet again, thank you so much for watching and take very good care of yourself. Hello Teal group, here we are with your reading and your 6 cards. These are the ones we initially dealt, and as you might know by now, I like to keep them in the order that I drew them into. So we're going to go ahead and deal out these cards in a simple 6 card reading. That's a 3x3. And we are going to see how soon this materializes. Okay, Teal group, so it's very clear to me that this is going to take a while. I have to say this can take several months, maybe a year, if sometimes more. It depends on your question. And even though the bird tends to be a faster card, I think there are other cards that come together in a combination that tells us that this is going to take a while. It seems that you're in it for the long term, and that's why it is falling into this kind of timeline. There are some really positive cards in this 6 card reading. The star and tree are beautiful. There is the news card here. Maybe this is what you're waiting for. Very good for a proposal with the ring, some kind of engagement, some kind of contract that can come through here. So maybe that's what you're waiting for. But honestly, I think it does materialize. So on top of this timeline that we're seeing through the cards, mainly through the coffin entry, I'm also seeing some wishes materializing for you. So let's go ahead and read the different lines here. We'll get more messages, not just the timing, but also the outcome of this question for you. So we have the star, tree, and ring in the top line. This is obviously a wonderful thing that materializes for you. It has to do with a relationship. It has to do with commitment. And there's a lot of depth in the relationship. Both the star and ring point to a wonderful relationship. The tree and ring point to a long-term relationship. So this is very much about commitment. Now, this can be about love, obviously, and really the ring and letter points to a proposal. So maybe you're waiting for the other person to propose, or maybe you're waiting to propose. This is the right path for you. It seems to be in the cards, and it's the right thing for you to do, to pursue. But again, the tree is a slower card, and with the coffin, which is a very strong card for time, they appear in here and they suggest that it's going to take a while. The coffin, bird, and letter is about news. The bird and letter are both news cards, so they show up together. So very clear message here about you waiting for news. And we see that there's the coffin at the outset. So again, there's this idea that it's going to take a while before you hear about this thing materializing. And I did suggest it's a relationship, but it can be something else. It can be a job, a contract, any other collaboration that you're after. I really feel that it materializes for you, but it's going to be a while. The star and coffin is about the long term, having to wait. The tree and bird also is waiting. The bird is a faster card, but I think the tree sort of overcomes it. It is a bigger thing, a heavier card, and we also have the coffin next to the bird. And the ring is also a longer term card because it has to do with commitments and that sense of continuation. The letter would normally be fast, a bit like the bird, but again, I feel that the balance of the cards is telling us that this is going to take a while. So definitely news that you're waiting for, feedback that you're waiting for, it is going to come. It is going to be what you are wanting it to be, but it's going to be a while before it comes through. Once it comes through, I think you're going to be building something beautiful, and it is something that you are wanting to be part of for a while, something that you want to commit to. There's quite a beautiful message here in the top row, so I feel that this is going to work out really, really well for you. The star, bird, and ring, I feel, is a negotiation and a collaboration. And with the coffin, tree, and letter, again, this is a confirmation that it's going to take a while. So I would say, Teal Group, this is a beautiful set of cards if you're willing to wait. So this is going to take a while. I'm suggesting several months, almost a year, maybe beyond, depending on what is that thing you're focusing on. It can be relative to what you're working with, but it's going to take a while. Once it does come through, though, I think it materializes in the ways that you want, and it seems that it's going to be worth the wait. So the star and the coffin here suggest that it's going to be worth the wait, and the tree and bird suggest that you take it easy, let it go, don't be so anxious about it. It looks like the proposal is coming eventually here. It is also on the right hand side of the 6-card reading. So I feel this is a beautiful set of cards, very clear in the message. It's going to take its time. It's coming. It's going to come on the right time. It's probably worth the wait. And then once it comes through, it's going to most likely answer your hopes. So let me know how you like these ideas, Teal group. I'm really looking forward to reading them. Very best of luck with this. And until we meet again, thank you so much for watching, and take very good care of yourself. Hello Lock group, here we are with your cards and your charm, and these are the 6 cards I initially dealt. As you probably know by now, I like to leave them in the order that I initially dealt them in. And so again, we are looking at the question when, so focus on this situation or issue you want to know about, when it's going to materialize. And we're just going to deal out your 6 cards and see what we get for that. Okay, Lock group, these are some pretty good cards. Obviously with the sun and fish and heart, there's probably wish fulfillment and things materializing for you. The house and fish can point to buying a house or things related to assets. It can also be related to business, a home business, or possibly a job. So any of these areas can be in focus for you. And really through this top line, we see a beautiful message of wish fulfillment. Very good for money, very good for security, even a sense of luxury that we're picking up through the cards. In terms of how soon, I feel it could be pretty soon. The sun is typically associated with a month because it is number 31. And it is also the sun, so it has that, it's associated with the moon, so it tends to be associated with the month, although the moon is more accurately reflective of a single month. The scythe is a much faster card, and so with the sun, it can point to the idea of shortening a little bit the time span of the sun. But we want to read the other cards as well and see not only what is the timing that comes through for you, but also what is going on for you in this situation. In the bottom line, we have the heart, road, and scythe. So the heart and road is wonderful for pursuing the path that makes you happy, pursuing what you want, going after your goals. I think you are on the right track. But what's interesting is that the scythe comes in, and usually the scythe and road suggest a change of direction. So you're happily going down your path, and there could be a change. But because of the sun on top of the scythe, I feel this change is really positive, and so it's an opportunity that might take you down a new adventure. This is also possible. And in light of the house and fish here, it can have to do with any number of things that you're working on, but there is a strong aspect for money and success in material ways. So it looks like an opportunity that contributes to your financial well-being, to your prosperity, to your job success and your business success. So I feel with the scythe on the other side of the road, and the road can be a few months as well, I feel the scythe can sort of cut short the timeline that you might be expecting. So with the scythe on the other side of the road, and the road points to a few months normally, there can be this timeline being cut short, and there's also the sun on top of the scythe. So there can be this idea that you're expecting a certain timeline and it's going to be shorter than that expected timeline. So I think that's a pretty good answer to the question of when. Whatever that timeline that you are expecting, it might take for this question that you're after, it can be a bit shorter. It might come a little bit out of the blue. Maybe it's unexpected how sooner from the expected timeline, but I think it can happen and materialize sooner than you were anticipating. And of course, that's going to make you really happy because we have the sun here. I want to tie in a few more cards, see if we get more insights. We have the house and heart. It looks like you're happy doing the things that you're doing, and the fish and road as well. I think you're really going down the path that makes you happy. You're doing things that bring you money. It could be any number of pursuits here that are really working out for you. And then we see the sun and scythe, and that really just adds to the abundance and the prosperity that you're experiencing, either in general or specifically in this area. The house, road, and sun, again, is a lovely combination, suggesting that You know, you're going down the path that makes you happy. I think a move is possible, lock group. I think that is possible. We do have the road and scythe, which is a very sharp change, and we have the house on the other side of the house. Did I say the house? We have the road on the other side of the house that can also point to a move. But it looks really exciting, and it looks like you are waiting to make a change, you know, because we have the house, which is the settled card earlier on the left, and then we have the change cards towards the right. And so it looks like you're waiting for that opportunity to come. And I think maybe you have an idea of when that can happen. I'm suggesting a few months, but again, I feel that it could happen sooner. And sooner in a good way. So there was another reading, for example, where it was sooner in not a good way. But in this case, it is sooner in a way that advantages you and that enables you to make a change and go down this opportunity or embrace this opportunity that comes your way. So some lovely cards for you, lock group. I'm suggesting a few months, but that could be cut short. Or the timeline that you have in mind, sooner than that timeline. How much sooner than the timeline? I would say, depending on what you are focusing on specifically, it can be a few weeks sooner. In all cases, I think that thing materializes for you. When the news comes or you know, you hit that timing, it materializes in a really positive way for you. Keep on doing the wonderful things that you're doing. Keep pursuing the things that make you happy. You seem to be on the right track, and then when the time for change comes, it's going to be also very good for you. So it's like perfect timing is what we're seeing here. So let me know how you like these ideas, lock group. I'm really looking forward to your thoughts and comments. Until we meet again, take very good care of yourself, and thank you so much for watching. Hello Rose Quartz group, here we are with your cards and your charm, your stone. I've got the 6 cards that I drew initially, and as you know by now, I like to keep it in that order. So we're going to do a short 6-card reading, a 3x3 line for you, and we are going to focus on when something will materialize for you, but we're also going to look at what else is happening for you in this situation. So we're just going to deal out these 6 cards in this way. Okay, Rose Quartz group, I really feel that this can take time. This can take several months, a year, maybe beyond. We have the lily, which is a slow card. We have the bear, which is also a slow card. The ship and child can also be slow. They tend to be faster than several months, but we do have the mouse. And I know some authors like to read the mouse as a faster card, sometimes indicating days, but I don't see it this way. I see the mouse as bringing obstacles in the way and causing speed bumps and things going wrong. So I think that that causes delays. And we also have these 2 long-term cards. We also have the book, which is the card of the unknown, the card of mysteries. So it can mean that it's a bit way off, that there's no visibility into how long this will take to materialize for you. Still, I have to say, Rose Quartz group, that this is an exciting new beginning that's ahead for you. It's important. We have the child and bear on the right hand side here. So it does point to an important new beginning. And this can mean a trip with the ship. But I feel that this is really about something longer term, something that affects your life because of the lily. So the lily, ship, and child can mean that you're moving, that you are making a deep change, you are moving on to a new chapter in your life. And so it does go deeper than a day-to-day change or a day-to-day situation for you. And maybe that's the reason why it's taking time, because this is not a light decision. In the bottom line, we have the book, the mouse, and the bear. And with the book and mouse here, it does point to not knowing what's going on, not having the facts, possibly even misinformation, having to go over things. The mouse does bring challenges in general, and we are seeing here with the bear, which is a slow card, that you're going to need to first put up with this element of the unknown, and also you are going to need to rectify any gaps in the knowledge or the information that you have for this situation. The bear, though, is quite a strong card, so don't let this hold you back. Don't let the misinformation or the facts that you are missing hold you back. You know, go for it, even if you are not fully aware of what's going on in the picture. Still keep on doing what you can do. Keep on working on the things that you are already, and you're going to have to wait for this to come through. We can also read the columns. We have the lily and the book. Again, this idea of not knowing and the long term coming through both of these cards. The ship and mouse, I really feel that the mouse being an obstacle card causes issues in this journey, in this forward movement. So again, we're seeing the idea of slowing down. But what's really nice is the child and bear, which we looked at just briefly. And so the idea of a new beginning is definitely in your cards, Rose Quartz group. It's just that it's going to be a matter of time before it materializes for you. And the bear with the child really tells us that this is something important. This is a big deal. This is not just any new beginning. So wait on it, and also make sure that you've covered it off well. So really get into the details of this. Don't take shortcuts. I would definitely advise against this using these cards. The lily, mouse, and child is again another indication, a bit like the mouse and ship, the idea that your journey, your life path has some obstacles right now, although you are going to overcome them at some point and move into this new beginning. And then the book, ship, and bear, again, this idea of the unknown that is figuring for you. It's not really clear when you'll be able to make this move, but once you do make the move, it is going to be good for you, and it's going to be a big step. So overall, Rose Quartz, I would say you're going to have to be patient on this. There are a lot of unknown factors. There are more grounds that you need to cover off before you can even move forward. I would also say expect some obstacles, things slow you down, glitches, little things here and there going wrong. And so to really put a timeline for this, I would say at least several months, maybe sometimes a year, and depending on what you're reading for, it can be more, because the lily is a card of the lifetime of life as a whole. So it can be much longer than that, depending on what you're looking at. If, for example, you're looking at investing in property investments tend to take at least 3 to 5 years, unless you're one of those who turns around very fast, like it's your work or something. But something like a long-term asset, it's over several years. So that's why I'm putting it out there. But I would say for most questions, for most issues that we ask about, I would say it's at least several months, and it can take a year, maybe a bit more. So be patient, but still keep pursuing your goals, keep going after the changes that you are after, and do the preparations as much as you can. And be patient as you work through the issues that are probably going to come your way. I think it's going to be worth your while. This is going to be an important change, an important new beginning for you that is going to come. So let me know how you like these thoughts and ideas, Rose Quartz group. I'm really looking forward to them. And until we meet again, thank you so much for watching, and take very good care of yourself. Hello coin group, here we are with your cards and your charm, and I've got the 6 cards that I initially dealt out. You might know by now that I like to keep the cards in this initial order, and so this is a short reading. It's just 6 cards. We're going to go right ahead and deal them out. And remember, we're looking at when something will materialize for you, but we can also look at how well it materializes and what goes on. So these cards, coin group, definitely a long time. We have the Tower. It is the card of at least a year as far as I'm concerned. And we also have these 2 slow cards, very unmoving, no movement to them. We do have the Stork, which is about movement, but really the balance of the cards is really tending towards a much slower timeline for this. We can also look into what is going on here, and we're going to add to this timeline as we explore the different combinations. So let's go ahead and weave these lines. In the top line, we have the mountain, anchor, and fox. So the anchor and mountain generally points to a foothold abroad, having some kind of foundation in a different place. It's usually a different country, but it doesn't have to be. It could just be farther away from where you are. And the fox can point to any number of things going on here. It can point to a job. It can point to someone you're working with. Maybe it's a person. As a person, it would be a bit tricky. As a job, it's a bit more exciting. And the thing about this line is that you are really looking to create a foundation. This is about establishing yourself for the longer term. So with the fox here, I would say really focus on the details. Be careful who you're dealing with, what you're working through. Really be alert. I would also say be self-interested. So don't be quick to pay a lot of money or give of yourself and things like that. Be a bit more circumspect and also more to yourself, and maybe a bit more selfish, I would say. I mean, it's not necessarily the best of words. Let's say self-interested. You know, put yourself first. And with the anchor and mountain here, you could be looking at a trip. Now, the stork on the side of the mountain here can again emphasize this idea of travel. Both of these cards are movement cards in the sense of you know, a different place or a traveling kind of aspect. And so when they come together, they bring this theme a bit more. So that could really be the case for you. Maybe you're looking at moving abroad. You're looking at making a big change in terms of where you live or what your life is like. And so this is probably the reason why it's going to take some time. And I would say we're looking at several, like beyond a year. You know, for other cards, I can say a few months to a year when I have slow cards. But with these, I really feel that a year or more is more accurate. It's more faithful to the energy of the cards. We have the Stork Man and Tower. It seems that this person here, someone maybe you've known for a while, or maybe this is a person in authority, a decision maker of sorts. He comes with the green light, allows you to set things into motion. Maybe your situation depends on him, on some decision, or somehow he's implicated in this, and there needs to be some kind of coordination with this person in order to make this happen for you. But I also feel that because of the Fox and Tower together, the idea of the job can figure here, or whatever it is you do, you know, as your livelihood or your main activity, it can be represented here. So if you're looking at making a change of sorts when it comes to your work, or maybe you're looking at an upgrade or a promotion, it can take time in these ways as well. And it seems that this person depends on it. He can also be the person abroad, like when we look at the mountain man and fox, he can be the person you are working with abroad. But again, you know, because of the fox, you know, be careful. I don't think he's 100% transparent. So, you know, double check everything with him, like with the anchor and man. I think he's supportive, but again, I don't think that he's 100% transparent, or that he has to be maybe. The Stork, Anchor, and Tower is definitely a move that you're making for the long term. So it can be a physical move, it can be changing countries, changing cities, and so forth, but it can also be a bigger change that you make in your life. So this is going to take time, because it looks like you could be reestablishing foundations, you know, and this is a process that can take several years. Now, for this specific reading, I think the idea of a year at least is faithful to the cards. So overall, coin group, I would say that I think your goals materialize in time. The anchor is strong, but it is going to take patience and also discipline. The fox is very much a disciplined card. It does seem to depend on someone in some area of your life, whether it's someone who makes the decisions on the job or elsewhere. Just double check everything with this person. I'm not saying that you should completely let go or, you know, wait around for things to materialize. I think you can be involved as this unfolds. You know, you can keep checking in and making sure everything is up to date and as it should be. Be willing to be patient. So this is the key answer to the question that we're asking. I think this is going to take at least a year. Be patient, but keep pursuing it. Like, we're not saying that you should let go. We have the anchor, the mountain, and the tower, and these are really deeply rooted cards. So yes, take action, make the changes that you might need to make with the stroke, but the idea here is that you are on the right track and you want to keep pursuing this track, because it looks like this is what is meant for you, and it's also something that's relevant and important for you over the long term. So let me know how you like these ideas, coin group. I'm really looking forward to your thoughts and feedback. Very best of luck with this. Again, be patient, keep working at it, and until we meet again, thank you so much for watching, and take very good care of yourself.